Who said the first 100K? That man is Charlie Munger, Vice Chairman of Berkshire Hathaway with a current net worth of $2.2 billion. He's been Warren Buffett's right-hand man since 1978, and in the 90s, at a shareholder meeting, a young man approached Charlie and started complaining about how hard it is to start building wealth and was frustrated at how slow the process was for him. Charlie told a young man, well, listen here. Okay. He didn't actually say it like that, but what he did say was, the first 100K is but you gotta do it. I don't care what you have to do. If it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon, find a way to get your hands on $100,000. After that, you can ease off the gas a little bit. This quote quickly became famous around the finance industry and is the bedrock of our conversation today. Clarity. The first step to achieving your first 100K is to be really clear about why accumulating wealth is important to you. Without this clarity, it will remain a wish and a dream. Hitting the 100K milestone needs to become the priority over things that take money away from you. If you're stressing about paying bills, dread looking at the balance in your bank account, instantly regret the vacation you just took after paying the credit card bill, and feel like you are behind in life, then it's time to stop playing games. Our economy and the money we use in it is a game that you play whether you are playing to win or not. Understanding where your money flows to. The way you acknowledge the importance of this goal is by understanding where your money is flowing to. The money flows to things you are attached to, things you value, even if you never look at it that way. For example, it may sound weird to say you value something like sushi, but if sushi is the thing that is taking money out of your pocket and you are struggling to save the amount of money you need to hit your goal, then it's gotta go. That's how petty you have to be about all your little expenses. That's what makes this process so hard. When it comes to more necessary expenses like having a roof over your head and you live in a downtown high-rise apartment with a view, yet you don't have 100K in the bank plus money invested, all you're doing is handing over your money to big companies and the rich people that own them, all while guaranteeing you remain a wage slave forever. No amount of compliments or the feeling the view gives you is worth the time it took for you to make that money. If you sit back and think about it, most people have so many hands reaching into their pockets, taking money away from them while only having one source of income to fund it all. How silly is that? With those two examples out of the way, the next step is to come up with the amount of money you currently have to spend on a monthly basis. Include things like rent, utilities, car payment, car insurance, student loans, things with a more or less fixed amount. So exclude going out, groceries, or your kids' soccer camp and your Sunday driving range expenses. You know, things you know you could reduce if you had to. Add it up, and there you have the monthly expenses that you have very little flexibility to currently change. Then I want you to multiply that by 12. That amount is how much you will spend in 1 year, even if you spend absolutely no money on eating, going out, putting gas in the car, etc. What we just figured out was the majority of the expense side of your personal cash flow statement. Now I want you to look at how much money is being deposited into your bank account every month. These income sources can be from a job, side hustle, anything, but I would only count the ones that you know are consistent and dependable. Multiply this monthly income by 12. This is the amount you can reasonably expect to make in 1 year. Subtract your yearly income by your yearly expenses, and that is the amount of money that we can truly consider as yours for a year's worth of work. Be reasonable but intentional. In the past, you didn't know the amount of money that was really yours, so you had no real reason to protect it, to nurture it, to give it what it needs to grow. You were handing it out to anyone that had a clever marketing strategy or dangled an item that would make you feel like you were better off than you actually were. Any reasonable person would value their time when they know upfront what their time is worth, and because you also know your goal, the math is simple from here. If you wanted to get to 100K as fast and predictably as possible, you simply divide 100K by the amount you could save a year. We left some necessary expenses out up until this point for a reason. Groceries, how much gas you put in the car, going out, all of these things are necessary to your life and some to your mental health, but there's a big difference in how much you spend in these categories when you're on a mission with a clear direction than when you're lost, unfocused, and not disciplined. It helps to have activities in your back pocket that are free or cost next to nothing, such as going for a walk, reading a book, relaxing at the beach, chilling with some friends, or even enjoying lunch outside. Get creative. Also, don't count out going to the gym, working out outside, or picking up a hobby that could lead to a business. If you don't remain intentional and disciplined, then boredom will steal your money. It will cause you to log on to Amazon and order things you don't need. It will have you mindlessly scrolling through Instagram and TikTok, giving you the urge to go to a fancy restaurant, book an elaborate vacation, buy fancy purses, or pay for overpriced concert tickets, not because you need it, but because you see other people living that life and you don't want to miss out and be bored at home.
Why it's so hard.
The first 100K is so hard, partly because everyone around you is living their best fake life, and it gives the impression that they are doing better than you. Along the way, you will hear things like, "I just want to live," "I could die tomorrow," whether it comes from the voice in your head or the people around you. All these things are true and valid. That's where their strength comes from. But the reverse is also true. You could live well past 65. With a little planning and some strategy, you could enjoy life without recklessly giving your money away. Do you really want to be old and reliant on the government or your children and grandchildren? What kind of example is that? Do you really want to be old and vulnerable, praying and hoping that it all works out? If you made it this far, it's evidence enough that you'd rather be wealthy and free from worrying about money. So do the work and run the numbers and find out how much you could potentially save for the rest of this year and make this the first year that you strategically get richer.
Turning the corner.
Once you have 1 year worth of expenses in your savings account, using the process we discussed, chances are you have built the habit of managing your money versus your money managing you. This is the time to start investing. It's important to understand that investing in anything, real estate, stocks, crypto, is risky. The market moves in ways you cannot always predict, and if you don't have enough of an emergency fund, you won't be able to withstand market crashes. Having money on the side gives you the ability to buy things when everyone is panic selling, and even better, when everyone has lost interest from taking losses. For you, market crashes simply mean assets are on sale. It's also important to acknowledge the fact that you could make it to 100K just by saving, even if it's not the way most people get there. If you are living in a big city, a car may not be necessary, and the new you, the person that is on a mission, is way more likely to sell that car, eliminate a car payment, car insurance, fuel costs, parking tickets, speeding tickets, car washes, city permits, all in the process. You're also way more likely to look for and find deals to lower other expenses, such as finding a cheaper place to live. But just understand that you can only lower it so much. Eventually, you are going to have to make your money work for you. So you gotta use some of that free time to learn about things that interest you that can help you make more money. If you like this video, check out one of these two below to continue learning to gain your freedom. The previews are plain in the thumbnails below. See you in the next one.
Ever wonder how some people seem to be able to, if you even remotely know what's going on, you've no doubt seen Terra Luna get demolished and token holders get wrecked. When these events occur, it gives people like Warren Buffett and Peter Schiff reason to say that Bitcoin and crypto is rat poison